Hey y'all, Buddy here, John Francis Restorations. How's everyone doing? Well, this is our next project. It's a child's roll-top desk. It's in pretty bad shape. We're gonna have to do some decent amount of repairs and some veneer repairing and gluing and actually put it back together. But let me just show you what's wrong with it here. See, maybe you can't really tell, but these legs over here are kind of bent in. We got some repairs to the veneer we got to do on that drawer. Biggest issue is the roll top itself. You can see there's some slats missing back there. My guess is they've fallen behind, tore off and fell behind, but we'll figure that out soon. Got some more veneer repair here. It's coming free. Got to get that glued down. You can see it's lifted up right there. So we'll get working on this piece and see how it comes out. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to take the back off, see if I can figure out what's going on with this roll top here. So I got the back off, and lo and behold, there's the last four slats there. I look back here once I got the back off. I'm gonna have to put some new drawer stops in. But let me show you what happened here. Evidently, someone put a new back on here at some point, and they used these finish nails. They were way too long, and what ended up happening is they were all the way through into the groove and into the slat. It's just nailed together, you can see here. So we'll get it taken apart. We're gonna get that roll top out so we can get that repaired. We'll lightly tap this with the hammer to get it apart. So you see here that this top is lifting up. So there's probably screws underneath these plugs, these 4 plugs. So we'll go ahead and take those plugs out. I've been doing this for a long time, and I always learn something new or see something I've never seen before. Like I said, these were actually like a press board. And here's the little nail, and then you can even see the hole still in there. This was put on, this was basically like this, and then you tack it in, and it makes it look like a plug. So there's one pretty much still intact. And then the nails, you can't see that there. So then you got a nail that's holding the top onto here. And all right, we got all those out, so we'll just easily pry up this top. There you go. Just held on with nails. That's all right, it'll make it easier to get some glue under this loose veneer and get it repaired, like an area like this. So we got some loose veneer here. We'll get that glued down. Something else I like to use this heating and air tape for is putting on a piece of wood, a glue block to glue it down. I'll still wipe the glue off, but if any excess gets here, it won't get onto the wood and then bond the wood to the piece of furniture here. So we'll make sure we get enough glue in there. Make sure this is going to lay flat. Good. That's why it's good to keep a lot of clamps and a lot of clamps of different styles. This one I can get right up against there and then screw it tight. All right, so we just have some screws now that are holding these sides onto the main top here. And then this should come right off. Hate to have to take this thing fully apart like this, but unfortunately, this is the only way I can do it. All right, so we'll take our screws out, put them in our little plastic bin here, put our client's name on it, and put it in our parts bin. Keep track of all of our parts. So here we are. Here's the two pieces that make up the roll top. So we'll just get this repaired and this roll top will be good to go. All right, so after we get the roll top repaired, we'll get to gluing. We got a lot of veneer to glue, a lot of joints to glue. Probably just not even videotape that. It's going to be a long, drawn out process. So what we'll do is just pick back up when we get to the refinishing process. All right, right over here, we're going to start the stripping process. We're going to strip each of these pieces, get the finish off. After we get the finish off, we'll clean off the stripper and neutralize the stripper with some lacquer thinner. I'm going to get the fan going here, keep some fresh air going. Everything has been stripped and neutralized and cleaned with some lacquer thinner. We will dry the majority of it off. Let it dry thoroughly. So then we'll start the process of doing some filling, doing some sanding. We'll get it all back together and then we'll get it stained. All right, well, I finally think this is the last bit of gluing I'm going to need to do. We've already gotten everything else glued. We've already done some filling of some nicks and scratches and old nail holes. So we'll get started with the sanding process. I like to get a couple of sheets cut down to the size I need to fit the sander. That way I don't have to keep stopping and doing it. All right, we'll get this paper changed out and we'll get sanding on this nice little roll top child's desk. All right, well, like I said earlier, we got everything glued. The last thing we have to do is this tambour door here. The fabric on the back has ripped, so we're going to get that replaced. This piece is easiest if we hand sand. All right, so we've got this whole piece finally sanded. What I want to do is get it put back together before I stain it. You can probably see, I don't know if you can see, but this back end is not quite square. So I am figuring out, so I'm going to use this square here to measure the front, and I'll put it here on the back. And we'll make sure when we put the top on that it's square in the back end here. So if you remember, pretty much this whole piece was put together with just nails. There were 4 screws coming up through here to hold the sides on. But other than that, it was nailed together. So I think what I'm going to do is use these construction screws, wood, things like that. Big thing is they have a very small head to them. So the head on this isn't going to be really much bigger than the nails. So we'll just get these counters sunk in there a little bit and then just fill it. I'm going to get this lined up just using some of the original holes on some of these areas that I know are square. Like I said, I'll sink them in there. Again, I know these areas are square back here already. And then this area, I mean, you can see it's just kind of flowing free through here. So I'm going to get this screw started. There's the original hole right there. And I'm just going to make sure we're where we need to be. Yep. This piece was pretty well glued on back here. So I left it on, pulled it off from here. And now we'll just get some glue in here and use the existing nails to get it lined up and put back together here. Here we go. Give it a little smack or two with the hammer. We'll put a tack or two in back here to help hold it. Once we get this put back together, it'll be sturdy again. And we'll line this end up. Find those old holes there. And just like the other side, we'll go ahead and put a couple quick extra brads in here. Oop. You get some R going. There we go. It's back together. Let's keep assembling here. One of the last things we're going to do is cut a few more of these blocks. These are drawer stops to stop the drawer from going all the way in. There was only one left and that wasn't even sitting right. So we'll make 3 more of these and get those installed. Okay, now we'll try to fit this roll top in here and see how it works. It's running smooth now. Look at that. You won't see any of the backing. All right, so let's get the top installed on here. And we'll do the same thing. We'll use those same style screws to put this on. All right, we got some drawer stops made. Let's stick these drawers in. Get them where they need to be. And then we'll put the stops in. All right, put a little glue on them and tack them in. Getting low on glue here. I think I only had 2 originally. I'm going to go ahead and put 1 on each side here. go. I'm going to go ahead and get staining here. I think it actually might be a little better than staining it in pieces, especially for that roll top. This is the last piece. I'm gonna get these spots sanded that I filled. And then we'll get this stained. All right, so here we are. If you remember right, this drawer was missing some veneer, so we replaced some of that veneer and then did a couple little spots of touch up to kind of blend it in. There isn't any finish yet, but once it gets finish on it, those will blend in nice. Okay, well, we got a couple coats on this piece. We're gonna give it a good sanding, get it nice and smooth, and then we will give it another coat, probably sand it one more time, and then give it a final coat. When I'm sanding in between coats, I'll use a combination of wet dry paper and then these sanding sponges. Wet dry paper works great on flat surfaces, but not so much on the curved surfaces. So I'll use the sanding sponge on those curved surfaces. So let's get all this sanded and we'll get another coat on. Sprayed and dried, and we'll go ahead and get this top put back on, get the roll top in, and staple the back on. All right, let's get this roll top back in here. Got to be careful because it will shoot out the bottom here. The only thing that's stopping it is the back edge. Get these in here. All right, so instead of using these 1.5 inch and 3/4 nails, we're going to use these 1/2 inch staples. There we go, back's back on. All right, there you have it. Our good as new roll top child's desk. The roll top works nice and smoothly now. We got the back on. Drawers don't push out the back end anymore and sit nice and level. Okay, well, as always, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for our next restoration or repair project, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.